And we're live. We're getting text messages on both devices here. Hey everybody, how's it going? Andy here within South Florida. Mario Quintero, the one-stop shop, man in Quintero, on this beautiful Thursday afternoon, the 4 o'clock hour.
4 o'clock, a little late, but we're getting there.
A little late, because we have a great show today, and we were making sure that all the lighting and everything is perfect. If this is the first time that you're joining us, we encourage you to watch. We encourage you to share and leave your comments in the comments section below. Mario will answer your questions live. If you're watching us on the replay, if you're watching us after the fact, leave your questions regardless, and Mario will get to you absolutely. I want to welcome Marlena. I want to welcome Lawrence.
Larry gave up his afternoon nap.
Larry, and we're starting already. So folks, thanks for tuning in. Thank you for the love. Today we have a great topic that I don't even know what it is, because Mario has done his best to keep me in suspense. But it has to do with the cost of iBuyer companies versus traditional realtors. Mm-hmm. Talk to us, Mario.
So iBuyer companies are a type of company that has come about in the last couple of years. And what they do is they started out on the West Coast, somewhere around Phoenix, California, and they're large conglomerates that have like these electronic apps.
Uh-oh.
And what they do is they solicit people that want to sell their house in order to purchase the house from them for cash.
Okay.
And then they go ahead and they fix it up a little bit and they flip it for a profit. So the seller of the property thinks that they're getting a heck of a deal.
Cash.
They're getting cash, and they tell the sellers that they're going to be cheaper than a regular realtor. Okay? And that's where the problem comes in. So they don't call it a real estate commission. They call it under a different name. A fee, right? And so these fees are a lot more than a traditional realtor, and then on top of that they add additional fees on top of that. So they're getting away with a lot of stuff, and part of the problem is that when they buy the house for cash, they're buying it below market value.
Okay.
So they're going to try to buy the house for a lot less than the true value of the property, and then on top of that, when they hit them with all these fees at closing, they make even a higher profit. So when they turn around and they sell the house, they're going to make a larger profit.
They're making money on the way in and on the way out.
They're making money on the way in and way out, and they are making everybody think that they are cheaper than a traditional real estate person.
Wow, interesting. I want to welcome Michael Miller to the broadcast. Michael Miller, the stars of Kendall. He's a star. No. We just saw Toy Michael at our monthly luncheon. Thank you, Michael. Jay Joseph, Missy, welcome, guys. Welcome to the broadcast. If you're just tuning in, welcome. Thanks for being with us. My name is Andy within South Florida. Mario Quintero from the One Stop Shop, and we're talking about iBuyer and the true cost of the iBuyer program, I guess, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So what are some of the iBuyer companies that are aggressively working on a nationwide level?
So we looked at 4 of them.
Okay.
That we did some research on, plus we have some industry people that have researched it and reached out to its members to give us the information. But one of them is called Open Door, the other one is called OfferPad, the other one is Zillow, and those are basically the 3 main companies that are out there nationwide.
Interesting. I'm bringing the comments here of Larry. Larry, when you come to Miami, man, we have to meet. I hear you're quite a comedian. So what is a seller's biggest concerns when they plan to list and sell their house?
So most sellers are interested in 2 basic things. Who's going to buy their house, and how much are they going to get for the sale of their house?
Are sellers really concerned on who's going to buy the house?
Sometimes they are, because
really?
that seller is going to go ahead, and normally a high percentage of sellers move within the same community.
Interesting.
They either
Good point.
downsize
Good point.
or they upsize within their same community.
Of course.
So they're interested in who's buying their house, because they want to make sure that they're getting top value for their
That
house,
makes sense.
so it doesn't affect their pricing
That makes
wherever
sense.
they're going.
That makes sense.
Okay, and then they are concerned with how much money do they get at the end of the transaction. Everyone wants to make the highest amount of money.
Of course.
One of the differences between iBuyer companies and traditional realtors is that iBuyer companies want to buy as low as possible because their fees are anywhere between 7 to 7.5% of the price.
Okay.
A traditional realtor wants the seller to get the maximum price because they make money when they get you the highest price.
Of course.
Okay, so they have a vested interest in the seller getting the maximum price for the house. And traditional realtors nationwide, the commission is somewhere between 5.08 and 6%.
Okay.
Maximum.
Okay.
Okay, so those are two big differences and incentives between a traditional realtor and an iBuyer company.
Awesome. And are iBuyers companies, these iBuyer companies, are they licensed to do business in all the states?
In all states.
Wow.
Yeah. All states, all 50 states, and they're just huge conglomerates that have a lot of cash.
Just get people on the phone and
That's it.
Wow. Interesting. So what is the objective of these companies?
So the objective of the iBuyer company is purely profit.
That's it. They don't really
Profit.
care. They don't really care
They-
the family or who's there.
They're never even going to visit your house.
It's all done online.
It's all done online,
Wow.
Google Maps, and online comps.
Wow.
And everything's done over the phone and through a computer. They could care less about you and your house. It's all about the profit, okay? But they're disguising their objective that they are cheaper than the traditional realtor,
Right.
okay? And that's a huge lie. It's a fallacy. It's not working out that way. And so that's their main objective. And their main objective is to take that profit back to where they're located on the West Coast. So none of their profit is spent in the community,
right?
where
Wow.
the seller is selling their home. Where with a traditional realtor, they're going to earn their commission.
Wow.
They have a vested interest in the community.
Absolutely.
And their commissions are going to be spent in the community because most realtors live in the communities that they work in.
The old adage, keeping it local.
Keep it local.
Keeping it local.
But these people are purely profit and all the way on the other side of the country.
Consumer beware, buyer beware.
Just giving you the info.
Is that? Well, that's one of those cases. I am getting an education, absolutely for sure. Want to welcome Phil, Margarita. I want to welcome David Arbetter, always on our broadcast. You know, we keep saying it. David, reach out to us so we can do this from your restaurant and enjoy those amazing hot dogs over there, right?
Chili, sauerkraut, and mustard.
There you go.
Hot.
What do iBuyer companies charge for their services, and what exactly do they call these mystery fees?
So they have a bunch of different fees, and just a couple of them.
It's not just one fee.
No,
it's not just one fee.
They use the word credit a lot.
Okay.
So when you hear credit, it sounds like you're getting a discount.
Run. When you hear credit.
So that word credit, whatever they attach it to,
Right.
it means that you're paying and they're getting the other side of the credit. Okay, so we've seen some of their offer sheets, okay, and they are custom made offer sheets which are completely different than a traditional listing agreement that spells everything out, especially here in the state of Florida, what the commission is, and if there's an admin fee, which is traditionally here in Florida, which is anywhere from $250 to $400, and that usually is an administrative fee that the broker charges for everything that they do behind the scenes. So those things are laid out in black and white. When you see a fee sheet for one of these iBuyer companies, you have words like experience transition fee, an experience transition fee. You have Let me read this because I wrote it down.
What the hell is an experience transition fee?
You got to ask them. You got to ask them. There's a potential repair fee. Okay, there is a credit fee. So this is on top of the 7 to 7.5%.
So these companies aren't doing an inspection in the property?
No, but
That's ridiculous.
But they're charging you a fee in the event that they got to fix things.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
Okay, but these are all hidden fees that are on their fee sheet, and a lot of these fees are not disclosed until you get to the to the closing table.
Wow.
Remember, these are cash transactions. So they don't do an inspection, they don't do an appraisal, because they're already buying your home at below market value as is.
Yeah.
But then they're adding fees in order to offset any potential things that they find later on, whether they're there or not.
Can we say, is it legal to say this is a scam? Or it's not a scam?
It's not a scam.
It's not a scam.
No, it's not a scam. They're telling you they're going to give you this much for your house, and the charges that they're going to charge you are just worded differently. But in the end, you're paying for that.
So we're here in Kendall. Mario's office is in Kendall, and sometimes you drive around and you see the signs. We buy houses for cash. We'll buy your home for cash. Is that what that is?
No.
Okay.
Those are more like local investors that are looking to buy and flip a home.
Okay.
And they usually use the traditional contract.
Okay.
These are conglomerates.
And they're all based on the web. They're all based online.
And they're all on the West Coast.
Looking for volume.
They're looking to churn transactions, buy them at the lowest price possible, close them with the highest fees possible, and then go in and flip the home for the largest profit.
Wow. So, as a traditional realtor, what exactly does a traditional realtor charge to sell the listed property?
So, the national average of a commission under the traditional realtors is as low as 5%, and as high as 6%. So, somewhere between 5 and 6%.
Okay.
And with that, the listing agent is going to basically show the house, market the house, negotiate the contract, be there every time the house is going to be shown, and basically assist the seller in transitioning out of that home into their new home. Okay, so there's a personal vested interest for that realtor to get personally involved in the transaction, because they are also part of the community. And when they get paid, like I said before, the money that they earn is going to be spent back in the community. Right.
Not only that, most realtors are looking for referrals from their actual clients.
Correct. So that's another thing. These other companies don't care. It's bottom line, it's profit.
Bottom line. So what should a consumer do when they get approached by one of these companies?
They could hear them out and tell them they're not interested.
Because it sounds like what you're saying, that it sounds very attractive on the surface.
It's attractive on the surface because when you talk traditional real estate...
I mean, I've had my house in the market for 4 months, 5 months. You call me and tell me that you're going to offer me cash?
Right. But how much? How much are you going to offer me? This is what the house is listed for.
Okay.
How much are you going to offer me?
Okay.
So if you're going to offer me $30,000 or $40,000 below what the house is listed for,
I see what you're saying.
A flag should go up.
Right.
Okay, and you should start asking questions. Why are you going to offer me this much less when my house is worth this much based on the comps in the area, the condition of my home, and what I've been shown by my realtor?
Wow.
Where are you getting your information? And that's where the problem is, because they'll show you comps that are a lot lower than what your home really is worth.
Okay, so that also instills some kind of misinformation and fear injected into the local market. And it kind of makes your job as a realtor, as a local investor realtor, a little bit harder.
Well, it makes it a little tougher, but then again, most realtors that are active like we are, a lot of our listings come from referrals and people we've done business with in the past, and we have a certain level of trust that has been built over
Excellent.
time
Right.
with our clients.
True.
So once again, the personal attention, the personal trust is there, and everything is usually done up front. And we use comps, and in our case, when we list a house, we actually do an appraisal on the home, okay, so that we can show them the appraisal versus the comps
Right.
as part of our selling process.
Oh,
We
excellent.
also do an inspection of the property in the event that there are unseen things that are unknown to the seller, that they have a chance to repair them
Excellent.
before the house is sold. These companies are not going to do any of that. Remember, their main goal is profit.
Is a profit.
Our main goal is customer satisfaction and get paid for our services.
Absolutely, absolutely. Want to welcome JB Stanley. Want to welcome Fernando Hernandez to the broadcast. Mauricio, Mike Williams. Thank you, folks, for tuning in and watching. If this is your first time watching, my name is Andy within South Florida. We're here with Mario Quintero, the one-stop shop, and we do these live broadcasts every Thursday at the 4 o'clock hour. We talk about real estate, talk about mortgages, talk about turbulences, talk about these brand new companies, IBuyer, that are instilling fear into communities all around the U.S. Really,
All around the country. It started on the West Coast. It's quickly moving to the East.
So Mario, besides the differences that you spoke about earlier, what are some other values that a traditional realtor like you, with years and years of experience within our community, can bring to the seller that an iBuyer company cannot?
Well, there's multiple things. I mean, we're going to help them with the negotiation of the contract. We're going to stay firm with what their objective is
Right.
on the price and the terms that they're willing to accept. We understand thoroughly what our sellers' objectives are, and we're going to meet those objectives. If anything arises during the transaction, we're going to try to help them out with that. There
Right.
could be open permitting issues. There could be other things that have to be negotiated. You know, I'm working on a transaction now where the inspection came out that the AC wasn't working at all, and that the electrical panel had 2 circuits that were double tapped.
Wow.
Okay, everything else was fine, but we requested the seller to have the AC serviced completely. It turned out that the fan had to be replaced and Freon added in order to make it work, and now they're having the panel added with 2 additional breakers to give more space to the panel, because
Right.
it would have been an electrical hazard. So we were able to negotiate those things, extend the inspection period out a little bit, hold back the additional deposit that our buyer was going to give
Right.
in order to protect them. Okay? When you don't know how to do that and you're not doing that on a regular basis, you're putting yourself in jeopardy.
Or your goal is not customer service; it's just for the money, for the profit.
Correct. That's correct. Or you just don't care.
You just don't care. I mean, it sounds like these other companies are just in it for the money, and they really wouldn't even know how to look for maybe a panel that was overloaded,
They're
and then they didn't care.
They're not going to attend your inspection. They're
Yeah.
not going to do an inspection.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. So with us, we attend the inspection, we attend the appraisal, and we're with the customer hand in hand all the way to the end. And keep in mind that these companies, on let's say a $300,000 sale of a home, which is close to an average price here in South Florida, their commissions are going to be, or their fees, a minimum of $21,000 to $22,500.
Wow.
That same commission to a traditional realtor is going to be $15,240 to $18,000. So you're looking at $4,000 to $7,000 difference just on the commission that they're telling you that they're going to be cheaper, and they're not. Then on top of that, you got all these crazy fees that they've come up with, which could be another $10,000.
And you're getting below the market value of the
Up
property.
front. So
Wow.
So who's making the money here? Is it the company, or is it you, the seller? And remember, the objective is for the seller to maximize the profit on
Right.
the home.
Of course. Mario, if I would have an interest in knowing if anybody watching has actually been contacted by one of these companies and to get your feedback and your opinion. If you're watching and you have been contacted by any of these companies, if you do have a property on the market for sale, I would encourage you to leave a comment below now, or get in contact with us, because we definitely would like to talk to you and maybe learn more about these transactions and how they are affecting our real estate market here in the South Florida community.
One of our national services that we are members of actually sent us copies of these offer sheets with all the fees and everything. So, this is real stuff. They blacked out the name and the address of the house and everything, but they sent this to us, and it's there. It's real and it's alive.
And here I thought that your industry was like a piece of cake, like a walk in the park, and nothing to be concerned about. Houses abound, but like they say in Spanish, you're like going cuchillo en la boca,
Well, these are companies that are market disturbers.
Yeah.
They like to disrupt the market through technology, low-cost operations, and high profit margins. Now, a couple of these companies are located in Seattle. So if they do business in Florida, where do you think those profits are going? They're going to Seattle. One of them's in Phoenix. If they do business here on the East Coast, where do you think your profits are going to? They're going to Phoenix.
So you said that this began like in the West Coast and stuff. Is that kind of the norm out there in the West Coast? Are realtors as active as they are on the West Coast in other parts of the country?
The West Coast has a tradition for everything new starting in the West Coast and moving east.
Okay.
But yes, realtors on the West Coast, Arizona, California, Washington, Oregon, they're just as active there as they are here. And keep in mind, California's average home values are the highest in the country. Okay, so yes, there's a lot of competition. Home values are very high, and realtors are very active out there too. No different than here. Here, like I've talked about before, we have over 65,000 realtors just in South Florida. Okay,
scary.
It's very, very competitive. Now, what separates those 65,000 is how active they are, how much experience they are, and basically how many transactions they've been involved in to be able to give the best possible service.
And also the fact that you guys are the one-stop shop, which helps because you deal with both sides of that transaction, making it a much smoother road for the seller or the buyer to be able to get into the property.
Well, that's our objective. Our objective is to make the transaction as smooth as possible and keep the client with great communications as we go along, keep them abreast of everything that's going on, and try to stay in touch with them at least 2 or 3 times a week so that they know exactly what's transpiring with either the sale or the purchase of their home. And that's what we do. We try to focus on the client's objective, not our objective. We focus on the client's objective to be able to secure what they want to accomplish is how we work.
And I gotta say, you guys do it well. There's a clause in your business card and your model that you work by referral only. Mm-hmm. Would you like to expand a little bit on that?
So by referral only is a coaching company that I got involved with when I first started in the business back in 2003. And after studying different companies and different coaching techniques in the real estate and mortgage industry, I decided to become a member of By Referral Only, and our head coach is Joe Stump out of San Diego. I think he's now up in San Jose, but the company's based out of San Diego, and I studied as a student of this business early on in 2003 how to set up a referral-based business and what is the customer looking for in regards to 5-star treatment.
Excellent.
So when you go to a 5-star hotel like the Ritz-Carlton, you have certain levels of expectations versus going to a different brand of hotel.
Right.
When you go to the Four Seasons, you have a certain expectation for 5-star service. We like to think that we have learned the things that need to be done to be able to give 5-star service,
There you go.
whether it's a mortgage or a real estate transaction or both, where that client feels that the only client we're working with at that time is them.
It's
and
important.
that
It's
has
important.
a lot of value.
Yeah. That's very, very, very important. Folks, if you're just tuning in, thanks for watching. My name is Andy within South Florida. We're with Mario Quintero, the one-stop shop. If you found this encouraging and useful information, I know that I did. We encourage you to share this with your friends, share it with your network. But in addition to that, we want to have you guys visit marioshomenews.com. It's Mario's website. There's a ton of information in there, a ton of videos that Mario has produced. Our broadcasts, our live streams are all there. marioshomenews.com. His testimonials, his referral partners, you name it. Mario's all about video and technology. And check out marioshomenews.com. I'm sure you're going to love it, especially if you're in the market to sell, if you're in the market to buy. You don't have to do this alone. You have a coach here. You have somebody you can contact, and he'll walk you every step of the way. Mario, what's the best number that somebody can get a hold of you?
You could reach us here at the office, 305-598-1600, or my cell phone number, 305-588-0451. After hours and weekends, that would be the best way to get a hold of me.
And some people might be wondering if they can afford the phone call or they can afford the actual consultation with you.
We don't charge for consultations.
Wow.
We basically give you all the information that you're looking for, and if you decide to hire us at that point, most of the time the seller is going to pay for the commission to the real estate. When we have a buyer, the seller pays for our commission that we represent as a buyer. And on the mortgage side, we get paid a fee from the lender that we processed the loan for.
Awesome deal.
So the client really is not paying us.
Awesome deal. Awesome deal. That's what they call it the one-stop shop, because they're able to help you on both sides of that equation. And just like we said last week, it's the 27th of the month. Mm-hmm. Many people out there are about to take out their checkbooks and write that rent check. Mm-hmm. What do we say to those people?
You need to do an evaluation to see if you pre-qualify for a mortgage now with low down payment, as little as 3%. And if you don't qualify now, then we can help you put a plan in place to qualify 6, 9, 12 months down the road. But you don't have to keep throwing that money away.
That check that you're about to give, that rent check you're about to give your landlord in the next 3 or 4 days, that can be part of your down payment on a home.
Listen, I collect rents for myself, but I always tell my tenants, when are you ready to buy?
Sure.
Because I can help you and you could stop this. But then again, some people, that's all they want to do is rent.
Right. So if you're watching, folks, and you're renting a property, you're renting an apartment, a condo, even a house, think about it. This could be the best gift that you guys can give yourself and your family starting on this journey. In a short 5 months, we're going to have the holidays here. And I can tell you there's no better gift than being able to celebrate this with your family in your own home. Yep. Knowing that the money that you're putting in to that property, the money you're putting into that home that you're in is going to be an asset for you in the future. And it's not going to go off to a landlord. I know many landlords are hating me right now, but the fact is, the reality is that you can buy a house, you can get into a property today. All you got to do is really start that process, picking up the phone, calling Mario and say, help, saw you in the video, I want to stop renting, how do I get into a home? Easy as that.
Listen, there's no shortage of tenants that will rent a home or an apartment. So the landlord,
it doesn't have to be you.
The landlord doesn't have to get mad at you because it vacates today and within 30 days it's rented again. Right. So, I mean, there's more renters than there are buyers.
Awesome. And Mario, today we were at the luncheon for the GKBA, and a few people came up to me and said, hey, that's the video guy. I see you've been getting this more and more often.
Yeah, well, it's. I guess it goes with the territory. That's good, though. I mean, that's why we do this. We're not CIA agents. We're actually in the public eye.
If you guys see this guy out in the street, say, "Hey, I saw you on video. You're the real estate guy. You're the mortgage guy." Mario Quintero in the house. Rafael Perez just joined us. Rafael, welcome, my friend. We're about to finish this broadcast, but you can check it out from the beginning. By the way, the fact, I love the pictures that you post, man.
Yeah. He's out there every day.
I love the pictures. I love the pictures, man.
He's active.
With the special effects and everything. Keep on doing it. So that's all we got today for you guys. Hope you've enjoyed it, man. I want to encourage you to share this broadcast if you're watching it now. If you're watching it on the replay, go ahead and share this. If David is still watching, David Arbeiter, come on, man. We need some hot dogs, and we want to do the show there from your restaurant. Think of the exposure. You have the real estate guy at Arbeiter Hot Dogs eating his hot dog with what? With mustard, with onions? And,
mustard, sauerkraut, chili, and the hot sauce.
By the way, if you're watching and you're local, we're planning an event. Should we tell them about the game?
Go ahead.
He still talks about hot dogs, so it just came to mind. We're going to be at the Marlins Park on Sunday, July 28th. Sunday, July 28th. If you like baseball or you like networking and you're in business, listen up, guys. July 28th, for, a family day from the Greater Kendall Business Association. Get in contact with Mario. Leave a comment below. Say, hey, I want to eat a hot dog with you, and I want to be at Marlins Family Day on Sunday, July 28th. Check it out. You're going to love it. Love it. We're going to have a great time.
There's a limit of 175 tickets.
That's true.
We've already sold 10 tickets at the luncheon today, so they're going to be going fast because we're limited to a total of 175 people. So if you want to network on a Sunday with your family or coworkers, this would be a great event. And the big surprise is we're trying to get Mr. Derek Jeter to come visit the group in the center field Auto Nation Pavilion that we're going to have the entire pavilion.
You talked about hot dogs, man. Now you got me hungry. Are there going to be hot dogs there?
You could buy hot dogs, hamburgers, Fritas. You could buy whatever food is.
Are the hot dogs there going to be as good as our better hot dogs? Yeah, that's okay.
I don't think so.
You don't got to answer that. Folks, thank you for the love. Andy here with South Florida, Mario Quintero. And you'll find a ton of videos, a ton of content on there. Drop Mario a line.
We may not see you next week because it'll be the 4th of July.
Oh.
And so we'll probably be back 2 weeks from today.
Awesome. Or maybe we'll have a video recorded.
We'll have a recorded video for that day.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, that's
a good idea. Thanks for the love, guys. Talk to you guys soon.
Have a great weekend and a great 4th of July.